Sensor tube isn't gonna like this one. But maybe the universe will change that. However, though, an ex-Pfizer executive, Dr. Michael Yaden, in the last few months said that there was no pandemic. There wasn't one. It was all one big lie.
Wow.
Now, in an interview, this executive from Pfizer with a doctorate, right, an expert, stated that the jab that the company made was a dangerous, experimental, and very undertested drug which killed millions. Let that sink in for any of you guys that aren't aware of this stuff already.
There has not been a pandemic. Dennis Rancourt's data shows that the all-cause mortality evidence data did not increase at all in the run-up to the declaration fraudulently by WHO of a pandemic. There is no public health emergency except that created by our governments. An inappropriate, fraudulent PCR test was used to give people the impression that they had a particular disease where they didn't. There were all the normal diseases. And then what happened was, in 3 different ways, people were treated badly through changed medical procedures that were imposed above the level of nation, briefly, mass ventilation of people inappropriately in hospitals that led to lots of deaths.
Now, we've talked about this multiple times on this channel, and the fact of the matter of how quickly these vaccines were made and put onto the store shelf, so to speak, and given to the public is alarmingly fast and not really as carefully done as compared to, say, the standard amount of time it takes to go through clinical trials for most vaccines prior to everything with COVID. It essentially quadrupled or 5-folded the speed of manufacturing for them and pushing them out on the store shelves. Normally in clinical trials, it takes 5 to 10 years before it hits store shelves and is ready for public usage, right? However, though, it took, with Pfizer specifically, 6 months to make, and then the other ones was within a year. So you have something that normally takes 5 to 10 years, right? That literally was cut down to 6 months to a year. That should send off alarm bells inside your guys' head. It's not right, and that's extremely fucked up and a cause for concern. It's not abnormal for somebody to question that. You don't just go from 5 to 10 years down to 6 months to a year. That's ungodly fucking quicker. And to me, it just seems like cutting corners and lack of safety overall and proper scientific procedure. Now, we've talked about the risk of getting these and, been pro-choice in the whole process here over the course of the last 5 years, making numerous videos talking about this while exposing the lies / propaganda. Go watch those videos now on my Big Pharma playlist if you guys want or need to learn more or want more evidence on this stuff. And we've also had account strikes added, plus our videos taken down for discussing things like this, or even talking about British parliamentary members discussing these very valid concerns as well too. So that was during the last administration, right? So surely if people like RFK Jr., Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, and Dr. Oz weren't in charge in the health sector, this video would arguably be taken down and removed shortly after releasing it as well too. But Dr. Yaden said, like many others, including the creator of PCR tests, that the ones that were given to us during the whole lockdown periods, right, were very inaccurate and producing many false positives. Go look that shit up. We did a whole stream talking about a Jimmy Dore video showing the interview the PCR test creator did in the last month or so. Not only did Dr. Yaden say that, but also that many hospitals were giving improper ventilation of people and procedures which led to many unnecessary deaths.
As someone who's worked in the industry for over 30 years, I am telling you, it's absolutely impossible to invent, test, clinically evaluate, and manufacture and then launch on global scale a complex biomedical product. It's absolutely impossible. It's not as close, it's years wrong. The fastest record prior to this was 6 years. And friends of mine who've worked all their lives in manufacturing of complex biological products tell me the methods development alone for the development of a reproducible manufacturing process itself takes a number of years. So whatever it is you think was done, I am telling you, there was not the development of a proper medical product. What I think happened was the advancement of materials that are intentionally toxic, and then they were sketchily advanced and jammed into people's arms, often coerced, sometimes even mandated, with the unsurprising effect that millions of people have died. So I think having heard what I've just said, that there was no pandemic and the lie was maintained in order to inject people en masse, I think 5.5 billion people, with an intentionally dangerous substance, 17 million of whom have died so far.
Then also in nursing homes, the elderly were given sedatives/drugs which induced improper oxygen, blood, or energy flow into the body, which caused many of them to die prematurely when they otherwise arguably wouldn't have died at all if that hadn't taken place. And then they were denied life-saving antibiotics too.
Oh my God! Wow!
In care homes, many people were given sedatives and respiratory depressants, which led to their deaths. My PhD was specifically in that area of opiates and respiratory depression. And in the community, people were denied life-saving antibiotics and died of bacterial pneumonia. There's your pandemic. There is no other pandemic. And based on this lie, we were told that vaccines were coming our way and would be our savior.
I'd say your blood's probably boiling right about now if you didn't already know about this too. I know that I was definitely fucking mad after hearing that. It just made my sacred rage burn even stronger than it already was after hearing that last part. Can't say that I'm shocked though, unfortunately. Dr. Yaden said that the true pandemic was the massive amounts of improper medical care, which I can definitely attest for on a personal level because it happened with my father and led to his death. That was also partially because of the imprisonment complex too, or the prison complex as well too, and their lack of proper shit as well too. They just take such good care of diabetics inside fucking jail and prison. Just totally grade A hotel quality service they provide in there for them. Now, the whole improper medical care thing has been needing serious addressing for decades too, by the way. In terms of everything with COVID and all the stuff we've been talking about though, the legacy media wasn't gonna cover it because they were and have been a part of it.
Good Morning America is brought to you by Pfizer.
CBS Health Watch sponsored by Pfizer.
This weather report brought to you by Pfizer.
Not only that, but he also said this.
Two things. As I say, first, there's no pandemic, so you certainly don't need an experimental, rushed medical intervention. But secondly, even if you did, as someone who's worked in the industry for over 30 years, I am telling you, it's absolutely impossible to invent, test, clinically evaluate, and manufacture and then launch on global scale a complex biomedical product. It's absolutely impossible. It's not as close, it's years wrong.
In other words, the data was altered, stretched to fit a narrative. You were better off not getting this particular type of jab. And then the PCR tests that were given to us were straight dog shit. This was after these corrupt billionaires and business tycoons were involved in agendas like Event 201 months before this happened, saying that a foot and mouth based disease was gonna cause the next pandemic. And then, posting it on fucking media such as Netflix Explained documentary in the case of Bill Gates. And then, literally later that month, right? Or within a month, all the stuff starts happening out in China. And then 3 months later, it hits our coast in the US full force, right? And they start pushing the propaganda. Then shortly after the narrative really starts to sink in here in America, right? You have corrupt billionaires such as Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab, and many others in the WHO/WEF who saw their businesses boom off the privatization of vaccine patents, plus the forwarding of this whole narrative, right? Making millions to trillions of dollars with the pharmaceutical industrial complex. Meanwhile, you know, we the people, or the serfs, or the peasants as they like to think of us as, saw our beloved small/local businesses perish and our financial stability get nuked like Hiroshima, Japan. Now, if you guys take a look at all the data we've been presenting on this channel for the last 5 years, and also what Dr. Yaden is saying, which just further credits, you know, what we've been saying, plus the creator of the PCR test said too, right? It was a pandemic, you guys. Dr. Yaden said there was no pandemic, and he's an ex-Pfizer executive. He said that it was medical malpractice and improper care. And then look at all the other things we said, you guys. The fact of the matter that there was campaigns talking about this prior to it, right? The build-up and like starting to get it programmed into your subconscious mind so that way you'd be ready for it and ready to give up your money and power to these corrupt fuckers as soon as it happened, right? With things like Event 201 and then like Bill Gates talking in the Netflix Explained documentary specifically about a foot and mouth based disease a month before all the shit happens in China, right? Or shortly thereafter. And then a couple months later, it hits in the US. And then they're pushing propaganda themselves and closing off open licenses for vaccines, which literally would help save more people instead of making money, which was not their goal. They wanted money. And then they cover up their tracks on everything with the vaccines causing injury and just saying, oh, well, these people died of COVID. Like, that wasn't the case, you guys. A lot of people died because they got experimental vaccines. This is all coming out now, by the way, too. You just had to follow the money trails and use common sense and not fucking sit there and believe what the mainstream media was doing and look at the money trails. Whatever the legacy media is telling you guys, whether it's CNN, Fox News, The Guardian, New York Times, Times Magazine, etc., whatever they're saying about things, do the opposite of that. Think the opposite of it. If they're promoting war, it's the exact opposite of what they're saying. Like, that's how it works, because they are narcissists. So you do the reverse psychology technique on their plans, and that's what's actually going on and what they're doing. Normally, if they are saying something, it's normally them that are the ones that are doing it. Or they're involved in it in some way. But that's not about what I think. What do you guys think? Do you think that everything with the lockdowns and COVID was planned in advance and orchestrated? Let us know your guys' thoughts and opinions and concerns about all this in the comment section down below. I would love to hear them. As usual, though, my dudes, if you guys did make it to this point in the video, go and leave the phrase "Deep State Eat My Cake" in the comment section down below to let me know that you made it to the end and that you guys are part of the 1,000,000% tribe. As usual, if you guys did enjoy, please don't forget to, hit that like button and destroy the shit out of the subscribe button. It really does mean a lot to me. And more importantly, it also helps us to get even further in the CensorTube algorithm out to even more people to let them know that it's okay to question these shitty, corrupt systems we live in, and that it's perfectly natural to do so. Also, if you guys would like a more interactive experience with us, come join us live every Wednesday and Friday from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time, where we talk about conspiracy facts such as this, play a variety of games such as Fortnite, Marvel Rivals, etc., whatever really floats the mood, or, chill out and have a good time, make some dark humored memes, and just vibe out, As usual, though, my dudes, I appreciate you guys very much for being here. Thank you. Much love. And until next time, please don't forget to live long and prosper. Take care and peace. Keep it 1,000,000% real. And as always, fuck the system. I will see you guys on the flip side. Z-Trip. Yep.